well, I worked really hard and now you're not even going to try this. Who do you think you are? I mean, it can really trigger some people very quickly. And I know I can be one of those people sometimes.
You're listening to the Connected Parenting Minute with Will and CarrieAnn Standfest. This podcast is a conversation about parenting using connection first, trauma-informed principles. Because when you lead with connection, everyone feels seen, which is the foundation to a more peaceful home. This podcast reminds you that you don't have to be a perfect parent, but we can all get a little better, one connected parenting minute at a time.
Hello and welcome back to the podcast. So excited you're here. My name is Will Standfest, and joining me this evening is the lovely CarrieAnn Standfest.
That's me.
And what a lovely evening it is.
That it is. It's starting to be a little fallish here in Minnesota.
It is. It's kind of nice, except for the pumpkin spice.
Yeah, I tried. I did.
Yeah?
I tried it. It didn't go well.
No, you don't.
No.
Were you the one that said it's like drinking a pumpkin pie or something?
I think it was something like that. And I wanted to like it. I genuinely did. I was like, I need to find something to look forward to in fall.
The answer is apple crisp.
Yeah,
we
that's
look
true.
forward to apple crisp, and that's the highlight of the fall. Anybody who disagrees with me is clearly wrong.
Oh, boy.
So we're good.
Yeah. Well, I tried and I realized I really don't like apple pie or pumpkin pie. And so pumpkin spice stuff just doesn't do it for me.
It's a little out of control this year. When did we see pumpkin spice pretzels earlier yesterday?
There's pumpkin spice frosty from Wendy's. We saw that in the airport.
That doesn't even sound a little bit good.
Okay. Anyway, we digress. Well, actually, this is perfect because we're talking about picky eaters tonight.
That's right. Tonight's subject is picky eaters because I don't know about you, honey, but I feel like I have a few things when our kids turn up their nose at something or spit it out after taking 2 bites or devour it one week and then the next week like swear up and down that they've never eaten it ever in their life and it's the worst thing ever. Some of that, I don't know, bugs me.
That would be one way. I would say there's a level of unsettling that it causes, maybe. It's
very frustrating. Yeah. Let's be honest here. I mean, it can really drive a parent up the wall because all of us that are parents have experienced a picky eater in some way or form. I mean, it happens. It's a big deal. Like parents talk about this all the time of like, oh, my kid devoured spaghetti last week and this week they threw it on the floor and pretended to gag and
pretended they were dying or something. Well, and here's the other piece. I was just thinking about it. We've been kind of pre-talking about this episode, but you have to do it every day. Like sometimes multiple times a day. So when you start talking about food issues, it's not like, you don't experience that.
It's not like it's something that comes up once a week.
Yeah, it's a lot. It can be a lot.
Feeding 10 people 3 times a day, you're saying is a lot?
I'm thinking our average listener probably does not feed 10 people several times a day.
Sure, I guess.
But that's our life right now. So.
All right. So.
In light of that,
picky eaters. Point number 1.
Point number 1 is that food issues, they're personal.
To give a good example of that, as we were talking about this earlier, I was thinking about fall and Christmas and all these other things. And we're talking about food and all I can picture, like my grandma used to make the most amazing Christmas cookies. I don't even know what they're called. They're like little round balls and they have like powdered sugar on the outside of them. They might have had nuts in them, I think. But like I can picture them. And anytime I have one, like I'm at somebody's house and they have like a assortment of Christmas cookies, like all of a sudden I'm a little kid and I'm back at my grandma's house and like I can like smell the smells and the taste and whatever. I see her little 3-tiered cookie dish thing and like it just brings me back to my happy place.
That's a really good example of food, smell, really invoking positive feelings.
Yeah, it was that and lemon bars. I think my grandma made lemon bars too and I love lemon bars.
I would say you do love lemon bars.
A lot.
I need to put that in the rotation back to Mike again because now I'm getting hungry. Yeah. So that's one way that food and smells can invoke positive and good feelings. Mm-hmm. You think back to those times when something was really good or it hits you a certain way and you're just like, that is so it brings back such good memories. I think the opposite can be true. And now we tend to think about this sometimes in our trauma-informed ways as a foster and adoptive family.
Yeah.
And a lot of families consider this too, is that sometimes when children come to us, maybe a little bit older, or they weren't born to us, there's a lot we don't know about them, right? About their experiences, what has happened in their lives. As much as, you get a file and a report and stuff like that, it doesn't tell the whole story by any stretch of the imagination. No. We tend to sometimes look for things or be aware that maybe our kid has a bad reaction when we're making cookies, but we can kind of go, all right, well, there might be something in that child's history that has a negative association with that. Because you think of like maybe a kid comes home from school and mom or someone just baked chocolate chip cookies, but then maybe there's a domestic violence incident or something really bad happens. Yeah, something really bad happens, and that invokes fear and that invokes uncertainty and all these negative feelings. And when you have that smell, that strong smell, and then these negative feelings, it's going to be really hard to separate those.
Your brain really encodes all of that together as a package deal. This is what I smelled when this thing happened. And it's like hardwired into your brain. When you get into like the brain science of how we process inputs in our world, goes through our survival brain first, and then through our emotional brain, kind of our emotional part of our brain, and then up into the kind of logical reasoning part of our brain. And which is good because it keeps us alive, because there are things that happen in your life where you need to react in a split second. You don't have time to think and logically reason through what you should do when you're in a dangerous situation. But when you experience a situation like that has, that is traumatic, where it's a very strongly negative experience, those smells kind of get hard coded in there. Like there's scientific research that talks about this idea that even more so than the sound or the situation that you viewed, if you smell something that's associated with a traumatic memory, it will send you back like that. Like it's a really kind of like a hardwired into your survival brain trigger.
I think to take that a step, because that's obviously more, for foster and adoptive parents, we've dealt with a lot of that. But when you take it down even to a neurotypical kids are born to us, biological children that may have never experienced something to that extreme extent. There are also situations where that smells or taste or certain foods can invoke those feelings, but then our children can't necessarily articulate them.
Yeah.
Because I think back to a story when I was, I must have been like 7 or 8, and it was big roller skating era. Back in the, it was 80s. I don't remember. Anyway, I was really into roller skating, and I brought it to our whole neighborhood, and it was a big deal.
Nice. Trendsetter.
Yeah, that's me. But we were out one day. I was hanging out with friends and stuff like that, and totally felt fine. And then I remember puking up tuna fish sandwich. And oh my goodness, I know you don't like tuna fish in the first place.
Yeah.
But I very vividly remember how it felt, just the ickiness of that, and getting on my roller skates, which made me really sad. There's just this whole thing. I would not eat tuna fish forever after that. And I think my parents kind of got frustrated with me because they were, hey, what's going on? You were eating this every day,
you ate
forever.
This last week, and now you don't want it.
And now you're not doing it. And it turned out that it wasn't because of the tuna fish. It was because I ended up with the stomach virus. But my brain did not compute that. And I couldn't articulate to my parents, I ate this and it made me sick. And so I'm never eating it again.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm like, I bet you at 7 or 8, you struggled to articulate that. That's not, you don't put those things together really quite at that age. There's adults that would struggle to put that together if we're being honest with ourselves. Right. And that's really an advanced level of reasoning to be able to kind of make those connections of, boy, the last time I smelled this, I remember my body remembers getting sick. And so me smelling it makes me feel a little nauseous and kind of grossed out. And so I don't want to eat it anymore. A 7, 10, 12-year-old might struggle to say that.
Exactly. And so as being parents, if we take that into account when we're interacting with our kids, especially in food issues, we might have a little bit more empathy and compassion for maybe what's going on that we don't understand yet.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Point number 1, food issues are personal.
Mm-hmm.
What is point number 2, baby?
Point number 2 is that in light of all these food issues being personal, we have to find solutions that work for our child.
Kind of like there's not a rubber stamp that's just going to fix it, right?
Exactly. So some of the things that we've come up with is, and this one's a hard one for me because I'm not the foodie, like really not in our family, but it has come to my attention that having so many children, I don't have a good memory when it comes to people's likes and dislikes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Let's just put it this way. If we do go out to eat and I make Will do all the ordering, I'm just like, here you go, sweetheart. Because my response would be like, okay, we're having tacos. Everyone gets 2 tacos. And they'll be like, well, I don't want this.
I don't want lettuce on I don't want my cheese.
I'll say, okay, you can pick it off. So you have a little bit more of a kind heart with that. And you will.
You want to know why?
You really want me to? Well, I know why, but go ahead.
Because I was a picky eater when I was a kid.
And it all comes back around.
And I got shut down several times. My parents like, just eat what we bought for you. Like, no, baby, I know that picky eaters are important too. I'll take your order in detail and get it for exactly what you want it.
Oh my gosh, my life just makes so much more sense now. All right.
I'm not saying you have to do that as a parent.
No, but it's just funny that we're talking about this, and I'm in like hysterics right now because this is really funny. My point being that I am working on stretching myself and taking notes of things that certain kids don't like, things that is not their favorite. We try to give them a vocabulary of saying that's not my favorite.
Rather than say, I hate that, or this is the worst thing ever.
Exactly. Kind of like manners and food stuff all tied up in one.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But when we take into account what our children particularly care for or don't care for, it shows them that we're paying attention, even if we have to use cheater notes to do it. And we can anticipate when there might be food issues. So in a family as large as ours, I don't always make food that everyone
likes. So like, for example, a Finnish pancake is a dish that you like to make that most of our kids love. There's a few children that do not love it.
That is true.
And you and me talking about that ahead of time, saying, remember, so-and-so doesn't like it, can mentally kind of set us up and put us in a place where I'm not going to be frustrated when that person comes in and says, I don't want to eat that.
Yeah. And pretty much exactly like that.
I may have heard it more than once. I don't know.
That's true. And so that's important to take into consideration when we are thinking about solutions that work for our children. Another thing we can do is offer to have them help cook the food. A lot of times when kids have interaction with food, I mean, that's a great way to connect anyway. When they have a stake in it, they're more likely to give it a try.
Yes. And for those of you that have not tried this does actually work. I mean, not 100% of the time.
That's true.
But there is more than once where we've had a kid who hates a dish and we're like, hey, baby, why don't you help me cook dinner tonight? And they bake it up and whatever. And then they're so proud of it. They're bursting at the seams and they walk out to the dinner table and they devour it. And you're like, score one.
High five to mom and dad. Yeah. So it's really important to brainstorm solutions that are going to work for your child. And on the flip side of that, it's so that you can find solutions that work for you as well.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why this is important. When we are engaging in conflict over food or conflict on a regular basis over something, we as the adult can come into that prepared, especially when it's a repetitive thing. And when we can come into it calm with solutions that work for us, that we're not going to be bitter or angry or frustrated about, that shows our child that we're willing to work and we're willing to work on that connection piece in our relationships.
Well, you're showing the child that they matter, what they think, how they feel, their opinions are important. You're giving them a voice in eating, which is a very personal thing.
It is.
I mean, honestly, forcing a child to eat something, as much as in the moment as parents we feel justified in it, if you unpack that a bit, I mean, that's not really great.
It's not great. In the moment, sometimes it feels like the right thing to do.
It does.
And we've done it so many times.
I would say I've done it, but I'm outside the moment and I'm calm right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to picture forcing some adult to eat something that they're kind of grossed out by or they really don't want. And like, that wouldn't be okay.
Right.
And we have to realize that our children are people too.
Yeah.
As obvious as that is to say out loud, it's so hard to remember in the moment that their feelings really do matter. Like they really do remember these things.
Right.
Not that we have to be perfect, that we're trying to put some crushing weight of responsibility on you, but just taking a deep breath and helping them feel like they have a voice and that the things that they like or dislike, you do care about it.
Right.
And so what are some other things that we can do to find food solutions that work for us as the parents?
So one of the things that we kind of developed early on, especially with repetitive meals that someone likes and then someone may not like, there's a little bit of reasoning sometimes in our family would be like, hey, taste buds can change. If you can try just a little tiny bit of it, we'll be good. Now we don't I would say genuinely, we don't force that.
No, we don't. We encourage it.
We encourage it, but it's more, is it research? I don't know. I feel like there should be.
The taste buds change as you age?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just couldn't pull it off the top of my head.
That's okay.
It is a thing. And I know my taste buds have changed. So yes, there is research. I can personally verify that taste buds can change. You're laughing at me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. So taste buds can change. And so if your kid is willing to give it a shot, that is a thing that can work for us as a parent. Hey, just try a little tiny bite. You don't like it? All right. We've got another plan.
And I would encourage you to keep that light and playful because if that becomes a power struggle, I guarantee you have just cemented in their mind that they will never like this food ever for the rest of their life.
Yeah, we have some kids that do that.
And so keep it playful, keep it light. Just say, hey, baby, sometimes our taste buds change. You haven't tasted it in a while. Could you just take a bite of it for me? Maybe we could put a little salt on it. Maybe we could put a little pepper on it. Like,
Or ranch.
Oh, so much ranch. Just dump a bucket of the whole thing of ranch on it.
Always eat stuff with ranch. All right. But then it comes to the next part of this, which is really important. As me, something that I've been able to go to is coming up with meal ideas that after I've cooked in the kitchen for several hours and they turn their nose up at the food, for whatever reason, they have things I can go, okay, baby, well, you can make this, this, or this. And we're talking about like older kids. We're talking about 10 and up. I mean, I guess our 7-year-old can do that too.
Our 7-year-old could do that. But simple things like peanut butter sandwich, toast, ramen noodles, just something really easy and simple that doesn't create a lot of mess, doesn't need a lot of prep, something the child can make themselves. They don't need help from us to make a different meal for them.
Mm-hmm.
But giving them a kind of bailout, fallback meal that you as a parent are okay with, you feel like is reasonably nutritious, it has enough protein or the type of nutrients that you're trying to get into your child at this point in time that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Just have something you can fall back on that you as a parent get to choose. You can say, I am okay if they eat this instead, as long as they make it and just kind of leave it at that.
You just make it light and easy because it's so easy to get wrapped up in those food issues because it becomes personal to us. Well, I worked really hard and now you're not even going to try this. Who do you think you are? I mean, it can really trigger some people very quickly. And I know I can be one of those people sometimes.
Yeah.
We just want to evaluate what are we going to be okay with and try to be flexible in that, in the sense that maybe go a little bit beyond where you're comfortable and say, well, is it really that big of a deal if I know that they don't like this meal that I go ahead and try up some eggs for them? Because I know they'll eat the eggs and I know they won't eat this, but I could be really nice to them while I'm waiting for this meal to finish.
And if you've got a foster adoptive kid and you go out of your way to kind of prepare them a little food you know that they like, you're really expressing love and value. They feel very seen. Wow, they knew I didn't like that. And they made me my favorite type of eggs. Like that feels really good. That's really good for connection. That's really good for building those relationships with your kiddos.
It really is.
I think we've given you a lot of stuff today. So let's back up and run through our 3 main points here and we'll head out of here.
So the first point is that food issues are personal. We have to take into account that every person's relationship with food is different.
And everybody has experiences or situations they've been in. And that smell is really hardwired into your fear response. So we gotta take that into account when we're talking about food issues.
And being the parent, we get to be the detective in our kids' lives to kind of uncover some of that stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And point number 2, find solutions that work for your child.
It's important to consider where they're at and find ways to incorporate them into preparing food and other things that'll work for them. And then our third point is find solutions that work for you.
And I think the fallback meals is one that really connects with me on that part of the discussion. And so I really encourage you guys to really think through these things. And the one little thing you said at the end there, it can really trigger me when they don't like the food that I prepared and I worked so hard on. It's like, well, we should unpack that.
Right.
I mean, if that's you as a parent, you should spend some time reflecting on that. Why does it bother me so much? Because I know that I've gotten chewed on as a child when I didn't eat like I wanted to. And then, that's kind of my natural reaction if I don't take the time to calm down and parent the way I want to.
Exactly.
It's something to think about, something to help. So again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate each one of our listeners. If you want to get in contact with us, reach out at our email address, check out our website. There's lots of different ways we want to interact. And before we go, we want to remind you,
you don't have to be a perfect parent,
but we can all get a little bit better, one connected parenting minute at a time.
Thanks for listening to my mom and dad's podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button like 10 billion times. Yeah!
For more parenting tips or to connect with us, check out the Connected Parenting Minute on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Or you can send us an email using connectedparentingminute@gmail.com.